なんとかなったみてえだな。畳みかける。これがスーパーサイヤ人3だ。
All right, what's going on, you fam? Raiyuden here. From that little Legends information, we got news on the last major update that they had planned for this year. The first one being that UI overhaul, second one being dynamic area battles, and now this final one being supporters. Now, supporters can mean a wide variety of things, and I guess that's what this video is going to be on, kind of just spitball what the different implementations of this could be. But I'll start off by saying supporters is not really a new thing for Dragon Ball games, let alone any fighting game. I think we've all seen it where characters kind of on the bench can come in and throw a little attacks just to help shift the battle into your favor. Fighters does a good job of this. You can just come in and call somebody to throw a ki blast or a beam in the middle of you fighting to help you out. But that would only be one way of implementing this sort of thing. They could also go the route of Yu-Gi-Oh! I think my OGs remember they could go the Seal of Orichalcos route. Do you guys remember that card? That whole Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc of people turning evil because of the Seal of Orichalcos. But if you played that card, it was like everybody got extra attack. I wonder, because this is a gacha game and because this is going to be a major feature, I would imagine that going forward when they implement this sort of thing, the supporter could be sort of like a 7th character slot where when you take a character and you plop them in there, it gives you a different buff. This is kind of like what we have now. What the Ultra Z abilities, maybe. The Legends Limited Z abilities, maybe. In theory, that's what those were supposed to be already. I don't know if you guys remember, but a long time ago, they brought up how they wanted Legends Limited characters to offer value just like Ultra characters did. Because at the beginning, the Ultra abilities actually did different things. Now they're all just, you get 30% damage inflicted and 30% additional ki recovery. But some of them used to be support, some of them used to be various things. And then they said that Ultras kind of have this little leg up on LF characters because they just get free damage and ki recovery. So we're going to be making new abilities exclusive to LF characters as a way to close the gap between the two. It's been years now. Nothing has changed. These LF abilities are just glorified Zenkai buffers. But I think this supporters feature is going to be what their true intention was. It's just now they can sell it to you. I think they are actually going to implement unique supporters abilities for all these characters where if you take them and you plop them in a 7th character slot, you now provide an additional buff to your entire team. I think that's what their implementation of this is going to be. You got to keep in mind that this is a gacha game. So even though they're introducing a new feature for it, they got to find some way to tie that to a gacha system and sell it to you. And I would imagine this is how they do it. But if they don't go this route, I could simply see it be the burst limit version of it. I've mentioned burst limit before. I think the Dragon Ball burst limit is like my favorite version of the Goku versus Frieza on Namek fight. I think that game just captured the emotions the best. That game had its own little support system in the form of cutscenes. I can't help but wonder maybe this would be that sort of thing where a quote-unquote cutscene will play where you net some sort of benefit, ki recovery up, damage up, you heal a little bit. I wonder if that's how they're going to implement this supporters feature. This is all to say they could make this work differently. They could make it be one, they fight people, they come in and they deal damage as sort of like a pocket character, kind of like Frieza's active skill, I guess. Number 2, it could just be a simple Z ability buff to the entire team in a 7th slot. Or number 3, it's some sort of team-wide buff via a cutscene, or like the Seal of Orichalcos thing where you just plop in a character there and you get some sort of little benefit from it. I don't know what they will be going with entirely. I'm leaning more towards that LFZ ability thing that I just talked about. But you can sort of see the vision of what character can play a role in what. The easiest example for me is, let's say they go to a movie saga campaign, right? We haven't seen any movie characters for the last little while. I could see them do something with the Trunks. Remember when we had the father-son Kamehameha or family Kamehameha clash against Broly? Do you guys remember when Trunks launched a small ki blast that prevented Broly from getting the finishing move, and the Kamehameha actually was pushed back and they defeated Broly? What if that's a supporters? What if your character is about to get, let's say your opponent uses a blast card, and if the blast card was going to defeat you, a supporter's cutscene will play, and that Trunks can come out and shoot a ki blast that stops your blast attack and it prevents you from being KO'd. That's a good one. Another one that Goresh and I talked about was, or rather he brought up, was the Gohan. The Revival Gohan, the purple LF one. Goku flying from the sky, coming in and preventing him from getting defeated by Bojack. That could be a supporter's role that could play like a cutscene. There's just so many versions of this that could happen. Something as simple as Pikkon. Pikkon stopped Janemba from interfering from Goku and Vegeta getting their fusion off. All these little supportive roles we can see easily thrown into the game. I think they will go with something similar to this. But the biggest thing out of all these things is it's nice to see the developers are still trying to find unique ways to enjoy the game. It's still crazy to think that this is still a phone game, right? I know some people are a little bit critical of dynamic area battles, but just the thought of being able to launch people from the sky to the ground, something that is like a staple feature in all these different Dragon Ball games, just them bringing that into a phone game is pretty remarkable. But now them wanting to also bring forward this sort of like supportive character roles that we've seen other fighting games have is exciting too. It'll drastically change how the game is played. I'm really hoping that they're going to go the burst limit support-ish route. Less so they go for a 7th character slot, just because it would be very easy for things to get overpowered. Can you imagine 7th character support slot where the entire team just gets free extra ability that goodness knows what it could be? Imagine your team gets the Seal of Orichalcos. Oh no! That would be nightmare fuel. But hopefully they just do this right and it continues to evolve the game so it feels very different. It's probably a big ask to hope that every single LF character and every single 1% character has some sort of, hey, you put me in the 7th character slot, or you put me in the support role for your fight and I will provide some benefit. But I'm hoping that this is implemented in a way where people feel like PvP and Legends as a whole, it feels like a fresh new game. But you guys let me know in the comment section below, what kind of supporters do you see coming? What kind of supporters would you like to see? And of the things that I discussed, which do you think is the best implementation of it? Do you think a 7th character slot providing a team-wide buff makes sense? Do you think a character being able to sort of come in and maybe do a little bit of an attack to help you out makes sense? Or do you think sort of the burst limit route of a support buff to the current fighting character is what you see? Would you want the supporters to come in and do new characters, like guaranteeing like a KO guard, playing some sort of unique cutscene, protecting your team? Is that what you want to see? Or would you rather they kept it tame so balance doesn't get too out of hand? You let me know in the comment section below. But until next time, guys, peace.